we're gonna make an offer.
Okay, but it's way over our budget.
So I'm in the middle of my filming day today with my videographer, and I just got off the phone with one of my clients that called in the middle of us videoing. So this particular house has been on the market for a while, and we just want to make sure that we're not competing against other people when we're going to make an offer. And because this house has been on the market for a while, we're going to be able to structure it in a way that it's going to meet the goals that you want, including price point and potentially getting you down, your interest rate bought down by this particular seller, because they are motivated to sell. They don't have any other offers, and the last thing that we want to have happen is them drop the price and then we're in competition with other potential buyers that might be considering this house. And I really felt the need to rant or talk about exactly the buying and selling experience that is happening here in 2026. And one of the things that I really wanted to chat about is when you are looking to purchase a house in 2026, and some of the things that I've already seen happening is that the homes that are new to the market and they are priced correctly, they're selling rather quickly in terms of getting activity. And as long as they're priced correctly, those homes are selling right away. The one thing that I'm also seeing is that homes that have been sitting on the market for quite some time, those ones are also starting to sell as well. And those ones that are selling that have been sitting on the market, those ones are the ones that I kind of want to talk about today. And the reason that is because a lot of times I have clients that, maybe have certain parameters that they're trying to stay within when they are buying a home, whether it's price point or area or whatever that may be. Let's talk particularly in price point and homes that have been sitting on the market for a long time. Let's just say there's a house out there for $550,000, your price point is $525,000 or in that realm. What I have been coaching and encouraging my clients to do is that if that property has been sitting on the market for some time and there hasn't been any price reductions, what you want to do, if that house is of interest to you, is make an offer on that house prior to that seller dropping the price. And this is why is that as soon as that seller drops the price, let's just say they go from $550,000 to $525,000, that's a pretty significant drop in that price point, then it's opening the house up to a whole new set of buyers and a new buyer pool, meaning that those people that are only looking up to $525,000 are now going to see that home for sale. And so what that essentially means is that if they were only looking up to $525,000 and that house was at $550,000, they never saw it. And as soon as the seller dropped the price to $525,000, then that all those buyers are seeing the house for sale. And so what I have encouraged my clients to do is that write the offer before that home has a price reduction for these reasons. One, you're not going to have competition with that new buyer pool. Two, you can structure the offer the way that you want it to be and try to accomplish the goals that you want. And three, that there is a potential that you're going to be able to buy a home not only at the price point, but also get other incentives included within that home. And what I mean is things like maybe there's a bunch of repairs that need to be done, or maybe we're trying to get a rate buy down. And so one thing that I've seen with my clients is that not only are we getting price reductions on those homes sitting on the market, but we are getting things like closing costs that are being paid towards rate buy downs. For instance, I had a client that we got the seller to pay around $12,000 towards a rate buy down. It's saving my client something around the $10,000 to $12,000 for the first 2 years of that loan, because the first year the rate is significantly lower, and then the next year it bumps up a little bit, and then the third year it goes to the same rate for the remaining 28 years. And so that savings that they're getting in those first 2 years, they're able to put that in the bank, or maybe they're able to do some upgrades to the property that they wouldn't have been able to do had they just straight up bought the house at 525 and were in competition with other people. So if you're looking at a house out there that is on the market and it's been sitting and it's close or within the range of what you want to spend, I encourage you to make the choice to write an offer on those properties, because you're never going to know what the seller is going to say until you write that offer. And the worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to say no, and then we move on and we try and find a home that fits the parameters of the goals that you're trying to meet when you're buying a home. So now I want to talk about selling in 2026 and some of the key components that may assist you if you're thinking about selling your home. Specifically with me, when I meet with a client and kind of coach them through everything that is going on in the market today, I really focus on data. I'm a data-driven person. I analyze things for comparable properties and all of the items within the home that's really going to bring the price to the point of where it's going to make it appealing to not just one buyer but multiple buyers. Because when you do a data-driven analysis of the property and you come up with that price, that data is supporting everything that we're trying to accomplish to get you the most amount of money for your property. Now, the caveat to that is sometimes getting the most money for your property is not always the goal, but we'll just say in this scenario that us getting you the most amount of money is the goal. And so what we do is when we take that data and we analyze it, we're really honing in on exactly what the price of your house is going to be, because the last thing that we want to have happen is get your house on the market, you're having consistent showings, but you're saying, hey, Jamie, we're not getting any offers. Well, the reason that you're not getting any offers is because people aren't coming to your house to buy your home. What they are doing is they're coming in and they're looking at your home, and then when they leave and go and look at the other properties that they're viewing to potentially purchase, they're reaffirming with another property that they're considering that that's the property they want to purchase. And the reason that is for whatever reasons within your property, whether it be price or amenities or anything else, that's the reason that you're getting showings, is because they're not coming there to buy it. They're coming there to use it as a comparative for the property that they are actually looking to buy. So when that is happening, when you're getting all of those showings, we really need to make sure that the feedback that you're taking or getting is that you're taking it to heart. Because if you're not taking that feedback to heart, you're thinking about it emotionally versus what the actual market is telling us. And so when the market is telling us we're not buying your house for reason X, Y, and Z, then, and if it's not something that you can change physically within the house, then the only other adjustment that you can do is price. And so pricing is key, especially in today's market, when you bring a house to the market to sell. I'll give you a prime example. I had a property that we just listed at the beginning of this month. Because of the activity that I had seen happening in the market and the lack of inventory for this specific property, I highly encouraged my clients to list the property 2 weeks sooner than we were going to do. We had been prepping this property from October all the way up until the beginning of January. We went onto the market. We priced it accordingly. I told them exactly where I felt the home needed to be priced based on the data and the inventory that was available. My client listened to me. That weekend, we had between 8 to 10 showings, and we had 3 full price offers. One was cash, and one was actually above the list price that they were asking. And we had another one that had an escalation clause in there as well. So that's not going to happen with every property, but it just goes back to is if you really focus on that data that I'm providing to you, and we focus on exactly what the house range should be selling in, you have more of an opportunity to sell that property for more money out of the gate versus if we try to slowly trickle down And what happens, you start to chase the market and you wind up selling your house for less money than had you had just priced it correctly from the beginning. And so that's why I want to make sure that when we bring a home on the market, that those are things that we're focusing on. We talk about all of these things before we bring it on the market, exactly what the pros and cons are, each of all of those things, because every little data point right now is extremely important, because buyers have access to all the information now, and they know if that house is priced correctly or not. And so if you don't have any offers within the first 2 weeks and you've had a bunch of showings, that is telling you that you may potentially want to consider a price drop. Additionally, it also depends on what price range you're in, but that's another video and story on a different day. But in general, if you're getting a lot of showings, you haven't had any offers, people are coming there to look at your house, not to buy it, but to use it as a comparative. And the one thing that you need to really consider, if that is happening, is making an adjustment in price and listen to what the market is saying. My approach to buying and selling real estate is not always for everyone. We kind of have to be on the same page. You have to trust me to coach you through based on my experience. This year is 30 years of selling real estate. So I bring a lot to the table, and I do really focus on that data and trying to help you make an educated decision. And a lot of times when we're trying to make that educated decision, I'm giving you multiple options based on the goals that you're trying to meet. And I'm not the type of person that's here to tell you what you want to hear when you're buying or selling a home. I'm telling you what you should hear, because if I'm telling you what you want to hear, then we will never accomplish the goal that you're trying to meet, because you're not taking in the information and the coaching that I'm trying to give you when you're looking to buy or sell a home. And it's really important that you listen to that information and take it to heart, because at the end of the day, my goal is for you to reach your goal. So if anything resonated with you in this entire video, and you need some help or guidance or an honest opinion about something that you're going through similarly with what I've already talked about, I would just like to be a resource for you, and just kind of coach and guide you through that if that is something you're interested in. And I just love helping people buy and sell homes, and that's what I'm here for, and building a relationship and trust with you. And that comes with me answering any questions that you might have and being able to think through and digest all of that information, and then for you to make an educated decision whether I'm the right person to assist you in whatever you're trying to accomplish.